Good morning, student. So I am here, Suraj Kumar, to deal with the different topics today. In the last class, we had looked about the approaches of human development. There are different approaches to human development, and we discussed all of them one by one in the last class. The four different approaches are income approach, the welfare approach, the minimum need approach, and the capabilities approach. There we seen that human development is looked into the perspective of income in the first approach. In the second, people become the main focus point and the center of the all around development. So in the second welfare approach, human become the center of development. Then comes the minimum need approach. Here we look that minimum 6 basic needs are there for all the human being. At least these 6 basic things had to be there according to definition or proposal of the International Labor Organization, ILO. So ILO proposed 6 basic needs, and these are health, education, food, water supply, sanitation, and housing. And based upon that, this approach works. And then the last approach is all about capability approach, and here we had seen the linkage with Amartya Sen. Building human capabilities in the area of health, education, and the access to resources is the key to increasing human development. So all these different approaches we have looked into the last class. We also started the different criteria for measuring human development. So Human Development Index, that is HDI, is the indices which ranks the different countries based on their performance in the key area of health, education, and access to resources. And on the basis of this, different countries are ranked on the level of human development in those respective countries. So these ranking used to be given on the basis of some score between 0 to 1, and that score each country used to earn based on their performances in the key area of human development. So different indicators chosen, like health, which is an indicator for life expectancy at birth. Higher the life expectancy means the people have a greater chance of living longer and healthier life. So whoever have a life, whatever country have a more life expectancy, the people or citizen of that particular country are having a longer life and healthier life. So quality of life or the longer life or healthier life is on the basis of life expectancy at birth. Then adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio represents the access to knowledge. How it is so? It is so because adults who are able to read and write and the number of children enrolled in any school shows the level of difficulty or the easiness to access the knowledge in that particular country or that particular state. Access to resources is used to be measured in terms of purchasing power, like in US dollar. It may be like that in one country the value of their local currency is different from that of US dollar, but is that less denominated country, less denominated economy or less denominated currency in that particular country is having a same level of purchasing power or not. What it means? It means here that let's suppose value of rupees is comparatively lesser than the value of few of the countries of the world, like that of few countries of Southeast Asia or some country of Middle East, like dinar is there or some other currencies are there. So maybe that value of rupees is comparatively having a lesser value or comparatively lower value of rupees, comparatively lower than the value of the currency of Middle East. But at the same time, the same amount of rupees, with same amount of rupees in India, the people used to purchase more similar kind of resource or things as compared to their counterpart in the Middle East. So in that case, maybe the value of rupees is lower, but at the same time purchasing power of rupees is comparatively more. So that's in that way, with compared to US dollar, that is the international currency, the purchasing power is used to be measured. So all these three dimensions, all these three criteria, that is access to resources, education and health, all these three is given a weightage of 1/3 in terms of human development index. And overall the human development index is the sum of total of weightage assigned to all these dimensions. So all these purchasing power, not purchasing power, access to resources, all these three, health, education and access to resources, have the weightage of 1/3, and the sum total of all the weights assigned to all these dimension will give us the exact value of human development index, and that value will varies or will lie in between 0 to 1. Closer the score, nearer to 1, whatever the country have a more closer score than to that of 1 is having a greater level of human development. Therefore, any country who scores near to 0.983 or 0.9 or 0.9 and plus would be considered very high, while any country which scores like 0.26 or 0.3 or 0.4 would mean a very low level of human development in their respective home countries. So score nearer to 1 will shows high level of human development, whereas score nearer to 0 will show low level of human development. There are different ways to measure, or there are different human development index measuring attainment in human development, and all of them have achieved in the key area of human development. It all reflects what the particular country has been achieved in the key area of human development, yet it is not the most reliable measures. So this HDI, Human Development Index, measures attainment in human development, reflects what has been achieved by the given country in the key area of human development, yet even achieving all these things, yet it is not the most reliable measures. And why it is not that much reliable measure? Because it does not say anything about the distribution. It says all the things regarding the attainments, it says all the things regarding the achieved, what one has achieved, what a given country or the home country has gained, achieved, attained, but it does not tell about the distribution of the things which are already attained, which are already achieved. मतलब किस कंट्री ने क्या चीज़ अचीव किया ये तो बता रहा है ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स, बट जो गिवन कंट्री और होम कंट्री ने अचीव किया है इज दैट रिसोर्स और द थिंग्स विच इज achieved by the given country is properly distributed or not. This is not been described or said under the human development index, and that's why this is not a most reliable index. So that's why another index known as human poverty index, which is related to the human development index, came into picture. This index measures the shortfall in human development. Instead of achievement, here it is shown about the shortfall or the where the things lacks behind, means negative thing, negativity or the negative aspects of the development is raised or shown by human poverty index. So we can say that the whatever thing achieved is shown by human development index. Whatever things we cannot be achieved, we cannot be able to achieve, or the given country cannot be able to achieve, the shortfall in achieving the goal or target is shown by human poverty index. This human poverty index HPI is a non-income measures. Instead of income measures is shown under human development index, and human poverty index is non-income measures. The probability of not surviving till the age of 40. So in case of human development index, it was life expectancy at birth, means it's there. In case of HDI or human development index, the indicators were long life, healthy life. Here it is just reverse. The probability in case of human poverty index, the indicator is the probability of not surviving till the age of 40 years. Instead of literacy level or more education, here in case of human poverty index, the adult illiteracy rate is the indicator. Same way, the number of people who do not have access to clean water, and the indicator like number of small children who are underweight, malnourished, and all these things taken together into account to show the shortfall or the lagging behind in the level of human development in a particular country or a region, and it is shown by human poverty index. Often the human poverty index is considered to be or is more revealing than the human development index. So here the number of indicators are more, and here the picture and the focus area is poor people. So instead of what we achieved here, it is described that what are the shortfalls or where we lags behind in terms of human development, and that's why often this human poverty index is considered more reliable or more revealing than the human development index. So overall, looking at both of these measures of human development together will give an accurate picture of the human development situation in a particular given country. So these both combining human poverty and human development index, both will give the accurate and clear-cut picture of the level of human development in a particular country. So as I told in the earlier or the previous classes, that United Nations Development Program UNDP had been publishing the Human Development Report every year since 1990. So since 1990, Human Development Report is regularly publishing every year by United Nations Development Program, and this report provides a rank-wise list of all the member countries according to their level of development. And Human Development Index and Human Poverty Index are the two important indices of this Human Development Report, measures under the United Nations Development Program. So these two, Human Poverty Index and Human Development Index, are the two important indices to measure the human development used by United Nations Development Program. So these two reports, these two indices, Human Development Index and Human Poverty Index, will give us clear picture of overall measures of human development which is used by United Nations Development Program. There are many more research going on. There are many more measures of human development constantly being refined. Newer ways are capturing different elements of human development has been researched over the time. So here the research is done by economists. Different economics or eco researchers have been found link between the level of corruption or political freedom in a particular region. So the level of corruption is having some sort of relation with the political freedom, and that link will be used by some of the researcher or economists to define different indices or the third indices of the human development. There has been another discussion regarding the political freedom index and a listing of most corrupt countries. So the level of political freedom in a given country and related linkage with the level of corruption in the given country. So it means that political and politics have something to do with corruption. So the interrelation between these two things. At the same time, political freedom is very closely linked with the level of corruption, and all these linkages can be looked into or are researched by different economists in relation to human development. So there is a question from you guys that can you think of any other links to the level of human development besides all these links? So there is another thing, like another linkage is there instead of this attainment or the achievement kind of indices or the kind of index under the human development index, and then the poverty based index, that is human poverty index, and then the level of political freedom and their relation with the corruption. There are another index which is very often used by different country. It was first discovered in one of the Asian country, that is in Bhutan. Bhutan is a Asian country itself, neighboring with our Sikkim, northeastern region of India. So Bhutan is the only country in the world to officially proclaimed the gross national happiness. So instead of GDP, gross domestic product, Bhutan proclaimed gross national happiness as the measure of country's progress. So Bhutan, the level of country's progress is used by the gross national happiness. So material progress and technological development are the approached more cautiously, taking into consideration the possible harm they might bring to the environment. So this material progress, there is a race in terms of material progress. There are different companies or MNCs over the entire world which are fighting for the growth in technological development, but all these approaches have some negativity in the form of loss to the environment. So during this race in terms of material progress and technological development, there is possible harm they might bring to the environment or other aspect of the cultural and spiritual life of the Bhutanese. So Bhutans have a very rich culture and they are spiritually very attached to their god or the king. They are very conservative. They always think of their culture. So these material progress, they consider that material progress and technological development will directly or indirectly harm their cultural and spiritual life all together with the loss of environment, and that's why they develop their own index in terms of gross national happiness. So their theory is that like that material progress cannot come at the cost of happiness. Means happiness is the most important thing for them, and material progress cannot and have not to become at the loss of happiness. So that's why they devised this gross national happiness to encourages their people, Bhutanese people, and to encourages us to think of a spiritual value of the nature, non-material and qualitative aspect of the development. So based on this, the gross national happiness is developed by Bhutanese people. So for next is the international comparison between the different index and the different countries of the world. I think time is already running, that's why I am just stopping here itself. In the next class I will going to finish this chapter and discuss few of the objective questions. So by that time just keep studying, focus your study on the basis of overall understanding of the subject all together with the application part. There are different type of questions can be asked. So wording of the question will change the way to answer it, like the question related with explain, define, how, when, comment, critically analyze the thing, elaborate. So all these things you need to keep in mind and do practice as much you can. By that time, stay tuned. Bye bye. See you in the next class.